many months, Leningrad has shared with Tobruk the distinction of being the longest beleaguered garrison town of this war. Her wide terraces, sweeping down to the Gulf of Finland, have been transformed. Thousands of her citizens participating in the erection of its strong defenses. In her factories, which are producing everything the front requires, this is the famous Kirov works, all the plants are working at full capacity. They're even able to help supply the rest of the Soviet Union. In the factories, new reserves are being trained for Russia's home guard. Here indeed is the point where the home front of production merges with the actual fighting front. Leningrad is the home of the Soviet Baltic Fleet. Since the beginning of the Russian campaign, gunners of the Red Fleet and coastal batteries have been in operation in conjunction with army units in the defense of the important eastern Baltic port. The guns of Stalin's warships are guarding the great naval base at Kronstadt and the enormous canal system that flows from Leningrad to the Arctic seas. In July last year, the government of Poland and Soviet Russia signed an agreement providing for the formation on Russian territory of a Polish army, equipped by Britain and America, to fight alongside Russian troops. They're there to avenge the martyrdom of Poland. Past differences between the Soviet and the Polish Republic have been reconciled, and the two peoples of Eastern Europe are together in the common struggle against the German Reich. These Poles may well be among the first to re-enter their homeland as the combined forces roll back the German invaders towards the frontier towns of Poland. The Royal Air Force wing of Hurricane fighter pilots and machines has given invaluable help in the Arctic regions of Russia. Their mission successfully completed, the men of Wing 151 are now back in this country. Their function was to demonstrate the Hurricanes in action to the Russians, which they did with conspicuous success at Murmansk, and then hand them over with their equipment to the Red Air Force. Squadron leader Rook, DFC, in command of the 81st Squadron, was awarded the Order of Lenin by the Soviet government for valor in action. Sergeant Pilot Howe was also decorated by the Soviet government. We're glad to be able to give you the name of this gallant NCO. The fine fighting record of our men included many highly successful dogfights with the Germans and the provision of fighter escort for Russian bombers out on offensive operations. We now switch over to the Moscow front, where Soviet cavalry, making full use of the winter conditions, are on the trail of the retreating Germans. The Soviet army still maintains the old fighting tradition of the Cossack horseman. This is the path of the German retreat from Moscow, the high watermark of the Nazi wave that was pounded into immobility. Those who survived began in earnest to fall backwards in Napoleon's footsteps. Frozen corpses have marked the path of two great conquerors who invaded Russia. In a smashing comeback against Hitler's brown hordes, the Red Army inflicted terrible losses. The Fuhrer's dream of a victory parade in Moscow perished with his battered armies. Captured material includes a uniform of the Nordland Regiment. This regiment is composed of Norwegian Nazi Quislings. This is the fate of such traitors. German graves. Cemeteries of Nazi soldiers now serve as milestones along the path that leads westward. The Soviet military machine rolls irrevocably westward. Every town in the line of retreat is sacked and destroyed. Burning and pillaging as they go, the Nazis give expression to their rapidly growing feeling of frustration. These German soldiers didn't flee. They hid in a barn and awaited the arrival of Russian troops. They cannot exploit the land as they had hoped. Gloating has given way to gloom. Russia is riding from Moscow towards Berlin.